Well, hello once again, my friends, and Merry Christmas. I did a little video on this just to share a little bit of nostalgia with you guys, and I actually want to do another one. That was so much fun. What I want to show you guys today is from the same time period. Matter of fact, the, what were they called? The aluminum trees, the gleam tree? Something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But anyway, around this time period, they had a special, and that turned out to be Charlie Brown, where they were actually mocking the aluminum trees, saying that the true meaning of Christmas was missing. And what I want to show you guys today is we're going to show you another little novelty, and this is going to be involving Charlie Brown. So if that didn't take you back, the last video with the nostalgia tree with the color wheel, I'm sure the Charlie Brown will hit home, especially if you're my age. So let's go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and we'll check out the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Okay, so we got the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and this is the book and a Christmas tree kit with music. So hopefully we don't get any copyright strikes on this. Again, this is the RP Minis, just like the little Christmas tree, the aluminum one. And when we look at the back, celebrate Christmas with the Peanuts Gang. Inside you'll find Charlie Brown Christmas tree that plays the iconic song Christmas Time Is Here, and an illustrated mini book version of the Charlie Brown Christmas, and a mini red ornament. So this is 2021. The ISBN number on this is 978-07624-73748. Hatchet book. Alright, let's open it up. I'm dying to see what this looks like. I love it. Alright, let's make sure we get everything out of the box. Alright, that's good. Okay, we got the Peanuts, Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles Schulz. And let's see, this is probably the instruction sheet, or the information sheet. Yep, product information. 3 replaceable, non-rechargeable 1.8 volt batteries. And you see the troubleshooting, battery replacement, the safety. So, let's take a look. We got the book, Charlie Brown Christmas. Let's see. Peanuts, A Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles Schulz. And, I mean, who doesn't know of this Christmas special? And let's see, 2021, if you want to check that out. It's finally Christmas time, the best time of the year. And you can see, just like the beginning of the cartoon, the houses were strung with tiny colored lights, their windows shining with warm yellow glow only Christmas could bring. The scents of pine needles and hot cocoa mingled together, wafting through the air, and the sweet sounds of Christmas carols could be heard in the distance. Fluffy white snowflakes tumbled from the sky onto a group. The joyful children all sang and laughed, skating on a frozen pond in town. Everyone was happy and full of holiday cheer, that is, everyone except for Charlie Brown. I think there must be something wrong with me, he told his friend Linus. I just don't understand Christmas. I guess I might be getting presents and sending Christmas cards. You can see he's with Linus on that little wall that they like to talk around. Sending Christmas cards, decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. Linus looked over at his friend. Charlie Brown, you're the only person who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest. You can see, again, they're a little skating, and Snoopy's getting into the act. Charlie Brown walked through the snow, thinking about what Linus had said. When he reached his mailbox, Charlie Brown hopefully poked his head inside, but it was empty. Rats, he said out loud, feeling sadder than ever. Nobody sent me a Christmas card today. I know nobody likes me. Why do we have to have a holiday season to emphasize it? Violet was also outside enjoying the wintry snowfall and reading a holiday card she had just received. Thanks for the Christmas card you sent me, Violet, said Charlie Brown bitterly. I didn't send you a Christmas card, she responded. Charlie Brown thrust up his hands deep in his pockets and made a face. Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it? We walked past the houses on his street and could not help but notice all the other friends throwing snowballs, building snowmen, and catching snowflakes on their tongues. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, but Charlie Brown was still sad. Desperate to discuss his inappropriate holiday mood, Charlie Brown sat down at the stool in front of Lucy's psychiatric center. Not too bad, 5 cents. I am in sad shape, he told her, frowning. Lucy was excited to have a customer, but she stopped him short before hearing any more detail. She demanded that Charlie Brown pay in advance in her psychiatric advice. Charlie Brown reached into his pocket and dropped a shiny nickel in her money can. The coin made a metallic clicking noise in it. It fell to the bottom of the can. Boy, I love the beautiful sound of cold, hard cash, said Lucy. That beautiful, beautiful nickel. Nickel, nickel, nickels. Beautiful sound of plunking nickels, Lucy grinned. Now what seems to be your trouble? Charlie Brown told her that he knew he should be happy during Christmas like everyone else, but he just couldn't seem to manage it. Lucy was entirely ready to diagnose his problem. Well, as they say on TV, the mere fact that you realize you need help indicates that you are not too far gone. Lucy looked at him sternly. I think we better pinpoint your fears. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it. Are you afraid of responsibility? If you are, then you have hypergenophobia. How about cats? If you're afraid of cats, you have alophagia. Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Maybe you have thalassophobia. This is a fear of geophobia, which is the fear of crossing bridges. Or maybe you just have pantophobia. Do you think you have pantophobia? What is pantophobia? Asked Charlie Brown. That's the fear of everything, she responded. That's it, he shouted briefly, encouraged Charlie Brown, but then his glum expression returned. Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down. Lucy came around from behind the booth to confront her new face-to-face, her friend. You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real Christmas project. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play? Charlie Brown could hardly believe his ears. Me? You want me to be the director of the Christmas play? Lucy tried hard to persuade Charlie Brown to join us. Sure, Charlie Brown, we need a director. We've got a shepherd, musicians, animals, everyone. We even got a Christmas queen. Charlie Brown hesitated. What did he know about properly directing a Christmas play? Don't worry, Lucy reassured him. I'll be there to help you. Charlie Brown thought for a moment. Maybe he did need to get involved with a holiday project in order to feel better about things. Lucy's confidence was almost contagious. Besides, he couldn't let everyone down. They needed him. Figuring he had nothing to lose, Charlie Brown agreed to meet Lucy and the rest of the cast later at the auditorium. Incidentally, Lucy added, I know how you feel about all this Christmas business, getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year. I never really get what I want. I always get lots of stupid toys or bicycle or clothes or something like that. What is it you want? Asked Charlie Brown. Lucy looked right at him and said, real estate. Just then Charlie Brown noticed his dog Snoopy pass by, hauling a large brown box overflowing with colorful holiday lights and decorations. He followed Snoopy back to his doghouse and watched as the dog began to create a large display of ornaments lights on the roof. What's going on here? He inquired of Snoopy. I love it. Look at Snoopy putting the lights on his house. Snoopy grinned and handed him a flyer. The flyer said, find the true meaning of Christmas with money, money, money. Spectacular, super colossal neighborhood Christmas lights and display contest. Charlie Brown looked up at the sky in dismay. Even his very own dog had gone commercial. The thought of the contest made Charlie Brown feel positively sick. Was more that all anyone cared about was money? Charlie Brown couldn't stand it. He threw up a flyer in the air and let Snoopy to decorate his doghouse alone. As he walked away, Charlie Brown ran to his little sister, Sally. I've been looking for you, big brother, she said. Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me? You write it, and I'll tell you what I want to say. Charlie Brown was in a hurry to get to the school auditorium on time for the play rehearsal, but he couldn't say no to his little sister. Charlie Brown took a pen and clipboard from Sally's outstretched hands and prepared to write. You can see the picture of them. Okay, shoot, he said. Sally began to rattle off her letter to Santa. I have been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want. Oh, brother, sighed Charlie Brown. Sally continued, please note the size and color of each item and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself, just send money. How about 10s and 20s? Charlie Brown was dismayed. Even his baby sister had gone greedy. Writing a letter to Santa was the one thing. Demanding cash from him was just absurd. Charlie Brown returned to the pen and returned the clipboard to his sister and hurried to the auditorium for the first day of rehearsal. He arrived just on time, and the rest of the kids had already gathered. Gathered on stage and in the wings of the theater, he walked over to the director's chair to address the cast. But as he began to speak, Charlie Brown realized that all the kids were dancing and goofing around and that no one was really paying attention to him at all. You can see that iconic scene where they're dancing around and music is playing. He picked up a megaphone and tried again. All right, he said, stop the music. We're going to do this play and we're going to do it right. Lucy picked up a stack of scripts and began to assign roles. Frida played the innkeeper's wife, Pigpen played the innkeeper, Shermie played the shepherd, Snoopy was delighted to play the role of all the different animals, from the sheep to cow to the penguin. You can see she's passing out all of the scripts. When she came around to Linus, who was playing a shepherd, Lucy handed him the script and instructed him to memorize his lines, as he could recite them on cue. Linus hugged his trusted blue blanket and began to protest. This is ridiculous. I can't memorize this so quickly. Why should I be put through such agony? Give me one good reason why I should have to memorize this. You can see he's confronting Lucy. Lucy glowed at Linus and made a fist, curling one menacing finger at a time. I'll give you 5 good reasons, she said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Linus stared at Lucy's threatening fist and swallowed hard. Those are good reasons, he agreed. Christmas is not only getting too commercial, it's getting too dangerous. Lucy frowned. And get rid of that stupid blanket. What kind of a Christmas shepherd is going to look like if he's holding a stupid blanket like that? Charlie Brown did his best to control his temper. All right, let's have it quiet, he said. Places, everybody. Schroeder set the mood for the first scene. Schroeder sat at his piano and began to play a cheerful jazz tune. The entire cast started to dance all over the place. Cut, 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 said Charlie Brown. It was all wrong. He suggested that they rehearse another scene instead. But no one seemed to be able to concentrate. Frida complained that Pigpen's dust was ruining the style of her natural curly hair. Sally stayed close to Linus, watching every move, and occasionally resting her little blonde head on his shoulder. Isn't he the cutest thing? She asked everyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Lucy and Snoopy demanded a lunch break. Good grief, exclaimed Charlie Brown, who was determined to get back to work on the play. There's no time for foolishness. Let's take it from the top again. Schroeder began to play his jazzy piano music again, which sent everyone into another dance frenzy. Lucy came over and stood next to Charlie Brown. What's the matter, she asked. Don't you think it's great? Charlie Brown shook his head. Something just wasn't right. Look, said Lucy, matter-of-factly, let's face it. We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's run by the Eastern Syndicate, you know. You can see Lucy and Charlie Brown. Well, Charlie Brown responded, this is one play that's not going to be commercial. What we need is a proper Christmas mood. We need a Christmas tree. Lucy clapped her hands. Hey, perhaps a tree. A great big shiny aluminum Christmas tree, that's it. She said to Charlie Brown, get the biggest aluminum tree you can find. Maybe paint it pink. You can see when him and Linus are looking for the different Christmas trees. Charlie Brown left Lucy in charge of rehearsal and set out with Linus to find a perfect tree for their play. The boys reached, finally, a Christmas tree lot, filled with a vast variety of bright, shiny aluminum trees. Then, in the midst of all the brightly colored metal, they caught sight of a tiny, green pine tree on a simple wood stand. Gee, said Linus, I don't know. A little tree for the first time. They still made wooden Christmas trees. I did not know they did that, said Linus. Charlie Brown went over to the little tree. This one seems to need a home, he said. Linus stopped for a moment. I don't know. Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit. But Charlie Brown was adamant. I don't care, he said. We'll decorate it, and it will be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me. They returned to the auditorium, and Charlie Brown carefully placed a little green Christmas tree on top of Schroeder's piano. In the back, he announced, getting everyone's attention. All the kids gathered around a small, sad-looking Christmas tree. Boy, are you stupid, Charlie Brown, said Violet. Lucy spoke up next. You were supposed to get a good tree. You can't even get a good tree from a poor tree? You can't tell the difference? You're hopeless, Charlie Brown, sighed Patty. You've been dumb before, but this time you really did it, said Lucy. All of the kids laughed at Charlie Brown and his pathetic little tree. Then they all walked away, leaving him alone and bewildered next to the piano. Linus approached him slowly, blanket in hand. I guess you were right, Linus, said Charlie Brown miserably. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who understands what Christmas is all about? He shouted. You can see him speaking to Linus. Sure, said Linus. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. He walked to the center of the stage, where a single spotlight shone right on him, and he began to speak. And there, were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of God shone about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all peoples. For unto you is born on this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was an angel of magnitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward man. Linus picked up his blanket and walked back towards the piano. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. For all the kids in the auditorium were silent, and Charlie Brown picked up his little Christmas tree and smiled. He carried it outside and looked up at this dark night sky, twinkling with a million silvery lights of stars. Linus is right, he said to himself, the words still echoing in his mind. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little Christmas tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it'll really work. He headed home and came upon Snoopy's prize-winning doghouse. Charlie Brown grabbed the large red ornament from the roof and hung it carefully on the top branch of his little Christmas tree. Charlie Brown cringed with dismay as the entire tree bent over and fell from the weight of the single ornament. "I've killed it," he shouted. Feeling frustrated, everything I touch gets ruined. He gave up on decorating the tree and walked away with his shoulders as bent as the little tree's trunk. The rest of Charlie Brown's friends walked over to the tree. Linus leaned over and straightened out the branch. "I never thought it was such a bad little tree," he confessed, wrapping his blanket gently around the base. You can see when Charlie Brown thought he had killed the tree. It's not a bad little tree at all. Maybe it just needs a little love. The kids looked at Snoopy's doghouse decorations and then the tree. And without a word, they removed the decorations from the doghouse and gathered around the sad little tree. Working together, they quickly transformed it into a truly beautiful one. They even completed it with a star on top. Even Lucy had to admit it looked wonderful. Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree. The whole gang circled and decorated the tree. Someone began to hum "O Little Town of Bethlehem." Charlie Brown heard the noise and came over to the group. "What's going on here?" he asked. "Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown," everybody shouted. Charlie Brown couldn't help but smile. He caught sight of the tree, his little tree that no one had wanted, and you could hardly believe his eyes. His friends' efforts had transformed it into something truly spectacular. Then everyone sang, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinner reconciled. Joyful, all ye nations rise. Join the triumph of the skies. With angelics host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King." And you can see the kids around the little Christmas tree. And surrounded by his friends, Charlie Brown realized that Linus had been right about the true meaning of Christmas. This was Christmas spirit that he had been looking for all along. At last, the season seemed 100 times brighter, and for Charlie Brown, it was truly the merriest Christmas ever. And this storyline is so iconic and meaningful, and its message to this day, I hope people understand the message. The true meaning of Christmas, it's not about commercialism. It's about the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. And I hope you guys love this story as much as I do. All right, let's take a look at this little tree. So it's going to look like it did when Charlie Brown tried to put the ornament on it, as opposed to when it was finished. So let's open up the little bag. And remember, this has sound too. The other one didn't have sound. So look at the tree. Let's see, is this really what the tree looks like? Oh, I guess so. It just looks different in 3 dimension. All right, let's put the tree goes into the little base, and we have Linus. His little blanket is wrapped around. So let's put this way, facing front. Okay, now we have the little Christmas ball, and look, we even get a little hook. I love it. So look at the little Christmas ball. And let's see, where did Charlie Brown put it? He put it on top, right? I think so. Let's put it up on this branch and see what it looks like. There. And I'll take you off the stand, the tripod, in a minute, and we'll take a look at the tree. But what I want to do is let's see what the sound sounds like. I'm not hearing anything. Let me take this out for a minute. Put this gently down. Let's see. Oh, this got the little plastic strip. All right, now it'll work. So let's put the little tree back in. And now we'll do the speaker. Now this is from 2021, so the batteries could be getting a little bit weak. Let me take out the tripod. This is Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. And luckily it's not bending over, even though we put the ball on. I think the good news for that is that the batteries are a little weak, so I don't think I'll be getting a copyright strike because of that. But my friends, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video on this pretty wild little retro, bringing you back to your childhood kind of little video. This is a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I think they did a good job with it. It even plays Christmas Time is Here. I would have had it play Hark the Herald Angels Sing like they did at the end of the episode, but that would definitely probably have gotten a lot of copyright notice. But I don't think this one will make a strike. I think we'll be all set. But my friends, thank you so much for watching. And like this little Christmas tree and Charlie Brown, I hope you find the true meaning of Christmas and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.